Hello and welcome to FIlmmaker Friend, the series where we talk through all basics of filmmaking to help you become a better filmmaker. In this week's video we are continuing on from our previous episode on shot composition. In this video we're going to be talking about symmetrical shots. Let's get to it. In last week's video, the last episode of FIlmmaker Friend, we spoke about the rule of thirds, and I mentioned that it was going to be the first of a trilogy of videos talking about shot composition. This is the second of those videos, and we're going to be talking about symmetrical shots and balancing a frame. Now, what do I mean by that? A symmetrical shot is literally what it says on the tin, a shot that is symmetrical. Now, there's two ways of looking at a symmetrical shot. Either the subject is symmetrical in the frame, or the background is symmetrical in the frame. Unless you're going for some hyper stylized shots, you can only really go for one or the other without it looking really otherworldly and really bizarre, out there, hyper stylized. To go for more grounded, a more realistic, a less stylized version of a symmetrical shot, you're really looking at only doing either for the subject of the shot or the background of the shot being symmetrical. In this frame, I am choosing to keep myself symmetrical. Obviously, I'm moving off as I'm talking, I'm turning, I'm moving, I'm going into the thirds and stuff like we covered last week. However, I'm generally keeping relatively central in the frame. I'm keeping myself as still as I really can without it seeming rigid, and I am relatively central in the frame. Just like in last week's video, we're going to be going out and taking photos and videos to create symmetrical frames, to create balanced frames, to create some good shots as examples of balancing frames. Now, if I'm making a video about symmetrical shots, I have to mention Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson is the king of symmetrical shots. I will throw up a list just in front of me now of a load of his films. He is such a big fan of the symmetrical shot. He uses it in all of his work, and his work is an example of the hyper stylized, symmetrical, everything in the shot being symmetrical all of the time style of shots that I mentioned earlier. However, it's not just Wes Anderson who uses it. Most filmmakers use them relatively often to convey a number of different emotions. You can create a symmetrical shot of a person and light them similar to how I'm lit now, but a little bit more intense, to show a character in turmoil, in emotional turmoil, where they are struggling with the dark side and the light side, shown by half my face in shadow and half my face in the light. You can use a symmetrical shot to create conflict in a frame by having two characters facing off at each other. You see it all the time in movie posters. And you can use that trope to create comedy by having a larger character and a smaller character, or two characters that wouldn't necessarily be seen fighting or being at conflict with each other in the same frame in that traditionally aggressive view. And obviously the symmetrical shot is also really good for product and advertising purposes. Having someone central in the frame looking to camera, or a product central in frame spinning around in the middle of the frame, allows you to have a very serious tone to your piece. And of course it allows you, if it's lit slightly differently to how I'm lighting mine now, it allows you to have a proper good view of your subject without it being slightly angled like you often get in the rule of thirds. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get out there, let's get some videos taken, and let's get some photos taken. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. My microphone's here, so I can't do my normal thing on my swipe, so I'm just gonna cut. Yeah. Alright, so I am back home. I just did a couple of shots. I'm a little bit I'm in a bit of a rush today recording because I've got other stuff that I need to get doing, so I only took a couple of shots out and about, like literally I think I only got 2, and then I came back here and I took a couple of shots of some household objects, but now what I'm going to do, because I'm doing most of it at home, what I'm going to do is I've got an idea for like a short little like sketch, like this guy who's getting like told what to do by this inanimate object, and I feel like having that, that scene would do well with having that symmetrical shot being, or that unbalanced shot with a person being on one side of a conflict shot and a really small inanimate object, like I've got these Buddha things, where are they? And I've got these that I've had them for years, and thought that would create a good juxtaposition of a antagonist in a scene, like this very unthreatening thing being quite threatening to this character. So I'll film that really quick, I'll use it, and what we'll do is we'll do it all using symmetrical shots or balanced framing, or in this case unbalanced framing, so you can, to show you how to properly use these symmetrical shots. Because yes, the rule of thirds is great for a over the shoulder shot where you're talking to someone who's next to them, but if you want a POV shot, go looking straight down the lens to create a bit more of an uneasy or more aggressive shot, that's what we'll do. So yeah, I'll film that and then I'll get back to you after that. So yeah, let's go do that. Fine. Nope. No, you do not tell me what to do. No. Okay. Okay. And that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little scene that I did. Hope you guys learned something about the about symmetrical. That's massively overexposed. There we go. I hope you guys learned something about symmetrical and balanced framing and unbalanced framing, where to use it, when to use it, when not to use it, and all that lovely stuff. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bump that back up a little bit again. I've been Jack, and I'll see you guys next week. Next week we're going to be looking at other sorts of framing devices and other sorts of compositional tools that you can be using, just general scope next week. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.